The day begins early on an Italian farm. But this is true of farms the world over, I suppose. The ducks and chickens and turkeys wake up first, and their loud voices let me know it's morning, time to get up. The cows also do not like to wait long to be milked. They complain if I'm late. If you have a cow, who needs a clock, we farmers say.
Yeah. Avanti.
My father is 74. He still works on our farm, but not as hard as he used to, of course. My mother, too, is up early. And as always, for as long as I can remember, the first thing she must have in the morning is a glass of strong black coffee. Fruits and vegetables have been picked yesterday in the cool of the afternoon and have been kept fresh in our grota, a cave dug deep into the hillside. My father every morning takes them to the market in town. The milk, too, will be taken into town, where it will be sent to Rome and pasteurized.
Tutto a posto? Sì, tutto a posto. Andiamo, pronti?
Andiamo. Let's go. The truck is loaded. Sweet figs and pears and string beans and cans of fresh milk. And the scale my mother uses in the market. And off they go like racing drivers. So then, the day has begun as usual. The boys sleep a little later, of course. This is Cesarino, or as you would say, Little Caesar, named after my father. He's always ready for mischief, this one. And so is his brother, Gaetano. Roughly translated, this means, stop that or I will come in there with a big stick. As you can see, the boys are terrified of that big stick. Ah, what's this? The pillow landed on a chicken. My wife, of course, has breakfast ready for the children. Adelina, our daughter, is almost finished. Breakfast on a farm in Italy is simple but wholesome. A big bowl of warm milk from our own cows with a bit of coffee in it, and great chunks of home-baked bread. Cesarino, of course, cannot resist temptation. He must have some fun.
Andiamo, forza! Va! Su! Piega!
On a farm, there are many kinds of jobs to do, according to the season, but some never change. The cows must be taken to pasture twice a day, and then down to be watered. Our farm is situated right on a lake, Lake Bracciano. There are not many lakes in this part of Italy, and this is certainly one of the most beautiful. We have the right to use the water of the lake to irrigate our crops. The water is pumped up through pipes and then flows downward to the terraces. The climate here in central Italy is mild, and we have plenty of water and good rich soil. In the town of Bracciano, beneath the old castle, is the marketplace where my mother sells our fruits and vegetables. The boys have come to town with me, bringing a young American friend whose family is visiting Italy for the summer. We have no supermarkets in Italy, except in the big cities. But we do have many farmers' markets like this one.
Ciao, bambini, ciao. Bene.
My mother tells the boys that business has been good today. She can sell the things they have brought from the farm.
Bravi, bravi. Va bene così.
Once upon a time, they say, the entire town and most of the land around the lake was owned by the prince of the castle. But that was some time ago. Things are changing. On many a summer day, there is a very strange sight on the lake.
Sì, subito. Prima io!
Che volete? C'ho le patatine, c'ho le muscoline, le aranciate, tu che vuoi? Muscoline, c'ho le patatine.
Peanuts, potato chips, olives, soft drinks. This man does a good business, he claims, rowing around. Selling a little here, a little there. It all adds up.
Un canotto.
Other parts of Lake Bracciano are very commercial. Restaurants, bathing establishments, camping sites for tourists. But we have a beach mostly to ourselves. Our land goes right down almost to the lakeside. It is Cesarino's job to bring the wine and spring water from the grotta, where it is kept cool. It is dinner time for us, midday, and no Italian dinner is complete without wine. We make our own, from our own grapes. Also, no Italian meal is complete without pasta, spaghetti perhaps, or a soup to begin with. This minestrone was made from our own vegetables. The main course, fish, caught fresh this morning by a fisherman on the lake. There is strong family feeling in Italy. As with our family, there are often 3 generations, perhaps even 4, seated with their feet under the same table. We have much to talk about always, and we always enjoy a good laugh. The meal ends naturally with fruit, figs and pears and apples from our own trees. Italy, everyone says, is shaped like a boot, jutting into the Mediterranean Sea. Here in central Italy is the great city of Rome, and about 40 kilometers north, Lake Bracciano, our home. In some ways, we have been very isolated here. For years, no telephone, no electricity, only the weak current generated by our windmill. Some days, of course, the wind forgets to blow. Soon, however, we will no longer have to depend on the wind.
Mamma! Guarda, mamma!
First had come the men with the big machines to erect the concrete poles, and now they are stringing the shiny copper wires. Shortly, they say, perhaps in a month, we will have electricity. We will see. In Italy, we have a saying, better to count the eggs you have today than the ones you expect tomorrow. At any rate, I think we will keep our windmill. There can be, I understand, power failures. That same day, my brother from the city of Viterbo paid us a visit. He brings always much excitement with him. He has brought my wife some catalogs of electrical appliances. Electricity means, first of all, for Adelina, television. For my wife, it'll mean that, but much more. No longer will she have to do the family wash by hand in cold water from the spring. My brother has brought me something of interest. All around the lake, people from Rome are building weekend houses, and many tourist hotels are planned. Our land becomes valuable. He has a letter from someone interested in buying it all. Much money, perhaps.
Non so, vedremo un po'. Io penso di no.
But if we leave here, where will we go? My brother is a salesman of farm machinery. His customers are the big mechanized farms, mostly in the north, but some near Rome.
Hey!
The boys find the big tractors on the farm exciting. I have a tractor also, a small one it is true, but big enough for our fields. Everything here, of course, is small and probably old-fashioned. We do most things by hand, in the old ways. My father taught me as a child to tie the tomato vines with the stems of wildflowers. As for harvesting our crops, we must all pitch in. Yes, the whole family, young and old. Still, what we grow is good. We do not believe in using some modern methods. Chemical fertilizers, for example. There's much difference, too, between my milk shed and the modern dairy farm. Italy becomes like America. Everything mechanized.
Grazie e arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Cesarino, Gaetanino, su, andiamo.
There are many cities in Italy, but Rome is the largest, and the Romans say, the most interesting. There are many sights to see, some dating from thousands of years ago, like the famous Colosseum. Adelina has studied ancient Roman history in school. When school opens again after the summer vacation, the boys too will study it. They've been to Rome before, all of them. But I suppose much of it seemed to them just broken down old buildings. Old it is, the Colosseum, nearly 2,000 years old. In the days of the emperors, though, 50,000 people once sat here watching incredible and, I think, terrible spectacles. Lion and tiger hunts, men fighting each other with swords and spears. The Foro Romano, or the Roman Forum, as it is called in English, was the center of ancient Republican Rome, the days of Julius Caesar and Brutus and Cicero. It lies in ruins now, but once there were magnificent palaces and temples and meeting places here. It was the center of the old Roman world, whose armies at one time conquered most of Europe and Africa and much of Asia. Go to Rome, go to Vatican City, we Italians say. A city within a city. It is the spiritual home of the Roman Catholic religion. Here you can see St. Peter's Cathedral and much else that is very beautiful. But there is nothing more impressive, I think, than the Sistine Chapel, painted more than 450 years ago by the great artist Michelangelo. He worked on this vast ceiling all alone for nearly 5 years, painting stories and themes from the Bible. The ancient Romans, like Julius Caesar, it is true, conquered the world. But I think that we modern Italians are much more proud of our great architects and sculptors and painters. They too, in a peaceful way, conquered the world.
Sì, oh, aspetta, non sbaglio. Io mi avevo dato un porto sul naso. Allora, attenzione, eh. Siete pronti? Via. 1, 2, 3, via!
Without electricity or television, our evenings have been different for most families, I suppose. We have had to entertain ourselves. Will all this change when the electricity finally arrives? I wonder. The days of the small farmer are over, they say, in Italy as in America. But somehow, if we can, our family must stay here. Where else could we be happy?
1, 2, 3, via! Vai!